Boom.
Risers and fallers, starting with our quarterback position. We talked about him last week. Kirk Cousins, he's still a riser for me. There's no reason to think that he's going to be falling. Still has a great schedule ahead of him, and he lost Dalvin Cook, and there's no apparent reason that he's coming back this week. So keep plugging in Kirk Cousins as a high-end QB1.
Yep.
After him, it's Matthew Stafford. He's on the best team in football. He has the best play caller. He's safe. So if he's not rostered, pick him up. If you can trade for him because you're disappointed in your quarterback, do it. He's going to be a safe play for you every week in, week out.
Quick enough for me. Justin Herbert is rising for me. I was very low on the preseason, but it's pretty apparent that this team is going to throw a lot and throw it to a lot of very talented players, and they're going to score a lot of points. And in a division with the Raiders and the Chiefs, this guy's going to be a stud. So even if he doesn't have this elite upside rushing, he has this like path to success through high passing volume and efficiency. So go ahead and pick him up. He's just going to be a stud.
Agreed. I want to get into the tight end position before we get to the heart of fantasy football rosters, which is the wide receivers and running backs.
Okay.
My two tight ends are Dalton Schultz and Mike Gesicki.
Okay.
So Dalton Schultz is just safe volume on a good team. So he's got upside for scoring, and he's getting at least 5 targets a game, and that's all you really want at the tight end position. So he's just a safe play with some upside. Mike Gesicki, we saw this huge rapport with Jacoby Brissett. So as long as Brissett is in, plug in Mike Gesicki for some safe volume as well.
I was gonna say Gesicki, but I'll reiterate, I guess. So when you're getting that many targets, and it's pretty apparent that Brissett was honing in like on this guy. When you're getting that many targets, you don't need to be efficient or score touchdowns. Like you can catch 5 balls out of 13 and be a tight end 1. Like it doesn't take much at all. So like if he was dropped, pick him up because he's gonna be startable every week. Brissett's there because he's getting volume. So
that's it. And I saw him dropped in many leagues, so I'm sure he's available.
All kinds of them.
My first wide receiver riser, Christian Kirk. Okay, 8 targets last game. Hopkins hasn't exceeded 10 targets in a game. He's got the number 1 quarterback in the league. The scoring opportunities are aplenty, and he's currently wide receiver 13 after I think he was nearly undrafted in most leagues. So major riser there in Christian Kirk.
Mine, it kind of has to be Michael Pittman. I wasn't a huge fan going into the year. I'll admit. And then like even last week I was like, oh, like this is probably like a mirage. But after 2 weeks of 12 targets back to back, it's pretty clear that he is the one on this team and is gonna keep getting fed. So Pittman is startable going forward, and he has a lot of trade value for guys that you might want, like Allen Robinson, who we already talked about. But yeah, Pittman's a riser for sure.
Okay. My next one is Emmanuel Sanders. He's got a 19-yard ADOT. He's pushed Gabe Davis out of the number 3 spot, who we thought was going to be the number 3 receiver for the Bills going into the season. The 34-and-a-half-year-old Emmanuel Sanders pushed Gabe Davis out of that spot. That shows that he's playing good football. Josh Allen's not running as much. Emmanuel Sanders has that veteran mind who knows how to get open not only in the short area but downfield as well. Hence the 19-yard ADOT, and he's taking advantage of all the attention that Diggs is getting. So as long as Emmanuel Sanders is out there and he's playing football, you can plug him into your lineups, and he's a major riser for me.
Moving on to followers. Are you done?
Go ahead.
Okay. It has to be Hopkins for me. Nuke Hopkins here. We're looking at a guy that is not the current wide receiver 1 on his team through 3 weeks. It's kind of scary. Like Luke was saying, he has not eclipsed 10 targets yet. And with a team that is running 4 wide with a running back that's catching 5 balls a game, it's kind of hard to see him reach this elite ceiling that we envisioned. So, Hopkins, if you can get out under name value and his week 1 touchdowns, I would, because it's pretty, not good for him at all.
Yeah, agreed. He's the easy one for me. It's this offense is just so spread out, He's not the 15 target plus Nuke Hopkins anymore. This offense is not built that way.
Yeah. Do you have anything else, or?
No, I want to get into the running backs. I really only have risers.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'll I'll just do one more receiver. Actually, that it's not necessarily a riser, but I just gotta like bring him again. You should try to trade for Marvin Jones because him and Chark were in like redundant roles, and Jones is historically undervalued all the time. So you're getting him for essentially free, and he's gonna be startable every week. So go ahead and pick him up. But on to the running backs, like you were saying, I just had to get it out there.
James Robinson, same team. He's a major riser. He's taken over the role. Urban Meyer has given in and realized that if he utilizes James Robinson, it opens up so much more of the game for Trevor Lawrence and Laviska Shenault in short area targets, read options, and RPOs. So
Okay.
James Robinson is taking advantage of that, and he was on the field 98% of the time tonight.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's wow. You got anything else? Because I just have one faller, and it's a pretty big faller, but
I'll go hit my other two running back risers.
okay.
Zach Moss. He has the second most red zone attempts in the league, and he sat week 1, and he still is number 2 behind Derrick Henry. The defense is playing outstanding, which will lead to more positive game scripts. And again, Josh Allen's not running as much, so they're showing that they will try and utilize the running backs that they have to preserve their quarterback. And then the third guy is Nahim Heinz. Nahim Heinz is the most reliable piece of the passing game. He's the most veteran presence in the passing game, and he's really good. Bad quarterbacks are going to lean on low ADOT attempts, so there's no reason to think that his volume is going to go away, especially if Carson Wentz is not starting. So Nahim Heinz is a major riser at the running back position for me.
I agree there. And then my only faller, and it's probably my biggest one of the entire week, is Antonio Gibson, because this guy has a 4-point week without his long touchdown, and we're looking at a guy that was once thought of as a 3-down back on a good offense with Ryan Fitzpatrick to now a 2-down back on a bad offense with an injury. Like he's just a middling RB2 right now instead of a mid RB1. And if you can trade him off name value, I would, because he is not looking good right now for me. So
I agree. Unfortunately, own him in multiple leagues.
Yeah.
And it's not working out the way that I was hoping. So, yeah,
Tough.
I'm all with you.
Well, shit. You got any more followers, or is that it?
No, the only followers I have are all, they're all guys that are getting hurt. It's outside of Gibson, he's the one who's like really disappointing. Even
Right.
CEH had a good game, but I think that we can touch on him actually for a second, because I think he took advantage of an extremely good matchup. We've seen the Chargers funnel the run.
Yeah.
So their defensive coordinator came over from the Rams, right? And we saw last year the Rams were a team that were like, go ahead and run. We're going to play the pass. And I think the Rams were like 30th or something in giving up points to the running back last year.
Right.
So I think that we might see that trend continue here in LA for the Chargers. So maybe now would be a time to sell high off of this good performance for CEH and play anyone you can against the Chargers that's a running back, specifically in DFS.
I'm still a bit of a CH advocate, but I can definitely see the logic as to why you'd sell him. So
definitely in redraft. I mean, Dynasty, it's harder to sell him because he still has so much tread on his tires.
Right.
And there's so many possibilities, but in redraft, I think now would be a good time to cash in if you could, if you're happy with the value that you would get back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. You have anything else, or is that it?
No, I think that's it, bro. I think I'm just ready to get into Sunday, man.
Dude, isn't football awesome? I mean, like, it's great,
It's the best. I really enjoyed watching tonight's game between the Bengals and the Jaguars, and those are, two bad teams. But hey, great football, man, nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, even with bad teams, it's fun. So
Straight up.
it. You want to say anything to our huge audience that we have?
Peace and love. I hope you all enjoy football on Sunday as much as I will.
Peace and love. I agree with Stickman here.